Hey, I'm Andrew from Limitless Park. And last week, I received some terrible news. A phone call. Hello?
Hi, is this you?
Most likely.
Well, this is your doctor calling to tell you that Disney is opening a new villain stage show at Disney's Hollywood Studios summer 2025.
That's strange news for you to give me if you're a doctor.
Okay, technically I'm a nurse practitioner.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, that's great.
Wait, that's not all. Kind of a good news, bad news scenario.
What's the bad news?
You have melanoma.
What?
Just kidding. Just kidding, probably. The bad news is that in order to make way for the stage show, they have to remove Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. It has about a month to live. Closes October 7th. Hello? 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 Hello?
I've just been so distraught. Guess the only thing I can do to get over this depression besides contracting alcohol poisoning is talking about my feelings. So let's do it. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. It's hated by some, tolerated by few, and hated even more by others. Chances are, if you've been to Hollywood Studios, you might not even know it exists. Or if you do, you might have never checked it out. It's tucked away in a smaller section of Sunset Boulevard, past Rock and Roller Coaster, and adjacent to Tower of Terror. However, you can't access it by walking past Tower of Terror, only Rock and Roller Coaster. The building that it's housed in is called the Sunset Showcase Theater. At first I thought it was actually built for the Racing Academy, but after doing a bit of research, it seems it was previously used starting in December 2015 for Club Disney, a sort of family-friendly club environment playing Radio Disney songs. This was later transformed into Club Villain, and then in August 2017 it was apparently just a meet and greet location during Disney PhotoPass Day events. Interestingly enough, the Sunset Showcase Theater is also the name of the theater in Disney California Adventure over at the Disneyland Resort that currently hosts Mickey's PhilharMagic, so just be aware of that if you want to do further digging. It has a much deeper history. Anyways, I've always thought this part of the park looked like a dead end, like it's just Rock and Roller Coaster's queue, and that's it. But nope, as of March 31st, 2019, there's an attraction back there. That's when Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy opened. Now if you're thinking, wow, that's not a very long lifespan for an attraction. Yeah, you're right. It's made it a bit over 5 years, which isn't terrible, but it's also not the greatest length for something with an IP as recognizable as Cars. Now, I've stated on multiple occasions that I enjoy the Cars films. Yep, I'm one of those people. And I did actually go check out Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy in May 2019, a few months after it opened. I remember thinking, that was fine enough. But man, I could have sworn I took quite a few pictures from the attraction when I was there, but after doing some digging, all I could really find was a couple Instagram stories posts I took from when I was there. So I guess I really wasn't paying as much attention to it as I thought. I will say, this was the year of Hollywood Studios' 30th anniversary, and since it was only a year after Toy Story Land opened, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened later that year, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway technically opened early the next year, it's no wonder that Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy got overshadowed. But that doesn't mean they completely scrimped out on the budget and design of this thing. I mean, they at least got Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy to reprise their roles as Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater, respectively. Now, for Chick Hicks, they had to go with Bob Peterson again, like in Cars 3, instead of Michael Keaton in the original. Still kinda upset about that, but whatever. And hey, speaking of Cars 3, I'm sure you're all asking, where does Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy take place in the Cars timeline? Go ahead, ask! Hey, stop flipping me off! Well, there's no crazy time jumps here. The show takes place after the events of Cars 3, which means Lightning McQueen has become a mentor to Cruz Ramirez, a racer for Dynaco, and even though he's racing still, he's just as much a teacher and stuff. I don't know, go watch Cars 3 if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's better than Cars 2 at least.
Oh, quick, look. Sweep me then.
So you take on the role of rookie racer and walk into the Sunset Showcase Theater to go check out the Racing Academy and learn from the great Lightning McQueen. You're greeted by a large number 95, which is what I used to think was the sex number, but turns out it's just his racing number. After you walk past that, you find yourself plopping down on some benches. I remember these things being so uncomfortable, but you gotta remember, all NASCAR drivers sit on wooden benches in their car, so it's all about that sweet, sweet immersion for this attraction. It's great. Once you sit down, you have a moment to take in your surroundings. Pretty much the only thing you can see is a giant reach-around screen. Wrap-around screen with all sorts of fun visuals and graphics. This thing is actually almost 2 stories tall and stretches longer than 200 feet from end to end. That's pretty massive. But enough chatter, it's time for the show. There's some banter between Mac, the big truck that drives Lightning around in the movies, and Sally, the car with the tramp stamp, before the lights dim to reveal...
Murder! Well, y'all thought he was gonna be someone else.
This is a quick fake out as Mater appears on screen to blow some smoke up Lightning McQueen's exhaust pipe, if you catch my drift. He's put together Lightning McQueen, the untold story that ain't done yet been told, which is a light audience participation song that's just... oh my god, it's so cringe. Like, don't get me wrong, I can appreciate Disney doing audience participation. Even if it's not for me, there's probably quite a few kids out there and maybe some adults that quite enjoy it. But I feel like audience participation is at least a little bit better when the audience is interacting with a real person on stage. Like, if there's a call and response moment in a song, it works far better if the call is coming from a real person that the audience can see as opposed to just speakers and words on a screen. There's only a couple moments asking the audience to participate in this song, but when there's not a human in sight and it's just a pre-recorded Mater voice telling you to say various Materisms with him, it's no wonder why almost every video of this attraction has almost no one participating in this outside of a few kids. Also, I don't mind Larry the Cable Guy, he's okay and kinda funny, but goddamn I don't want to hear him sing for another second.
Shit gets hard, but in the end, he's the fucking champion. Everybody shout, pony! Pony!
Luckily, the song doesn't last for long, and Mater quickly switches over to some flashing lights and lasers before the weird cylinder on stage opens up to reveal a Lightning McQueen animatronic. Oh wow, he really did blow smoke at him. I know there's tons of these Cars animatronics out in California in the Radiator Springs area, so this isn't that impressive to just have one here, but I don't care, I still love how these animatronics look. They're honestly some of my favorites Imagineering has ever created. Anyways, Lightning starts off by saying he founded the Racing Academy because Doc Hudson taught him how to be a great and far more humble racer, and now he wants to pay that forward to everyone in the room. So that's not a bad reasoning, I suppose. Mater kinda acts as the hype man to banter with during this, while also apparently being in charge of playing different clips for the show. This becomes apparent once Lightning says he's gonna kick off the lesson by taking a couple laps on the simulator, which is followed by him saying he doesn't get along with simulators well. This is accompanied by that one clip from Cars 3 where he's unable to drive on the simulator and ends up crashing into the screen. And now, I can kinda see what they're doing here. So far they've just been using a lot of clips from the movies, specifically Cars 3, and it just really breaks the immersion for me. I know it might sound silly to want to be immersed in the Cars universe, but I think at Disney it's a pretty standard expectation. However, if this academy is in-universe, then Mater shouldn't have access to this footage of Doc Hudson, which is used as a flashback in Cars 3. I completely understand why they do this, as sometimes it's just easier to use animation you've already produced if it fits the story. After all, it's not like the average guest will notice, so why not use what's already made? It's a larger problem with media in general. The most recent example I can think of is in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, during the scene where Deadpool was watching clips of the Avengers in the Time Variance Authority headquarters. Of course, instead of these being unique perspectives that the TVA was able to pick up of the Avengers over the years, they're just clips used from previous Avengers movies, like the first Avengers or Avengers Endgame. It takes me out of it, you know? Now some nerd is gonna come at me and say something about Deadpool or the TVA being able to see footage of the other movies because they break the fourth wall of the universe or something. Quick, back to the safety of the Cars universe. So Lightning says there won't be any problems this time thanks to Cruz Ramirez being here to help. She appears on screen and does an introduction that's way less intense than Mater's, albeit a bit less impactful. I always liked Cruz as a character. I feel like she was the strongest aspect of the third movie, and she's not nearly as annoying as Mater in this show, so I'm glad they brought her back for it. Anyways, Lightning tells Mater to start the simulator. Mater's an idiot idiot, so he blows a bunch more smoke, and then he actually turns it on so he can start racing. Oh, Jesus, they couldn't even afford to do animations for some sort of video call, so they just stuck this clip art in his view. So I guess they're giving basic racing advice, and then the cars turn into tractors, because of course they do, but then the simulator appears to be hacked, and Cruz says it was a bug. They probably got it because Mater was spending way too much time on the dark web watching illegal Porsche videos. Things seem temporarily okay, so Lightning changes the track to Tokyo, Japan. Clearly something's still wrong though, as a Japanese commercial plays where Lightning is pissing himself? What?
Leak left. Hit the trail without leaking on the trail. That was only supposed to air overseas.
Lightning, buddy, why would you want that to air anywhere? Dude, who is doing your brand deals? Okay, so obviously it's Chick Hicks who hacked into the simulator. Apparently he did this to challenge Lightning to a race. When Lightning responds by being like, hey, you already beat me in a race, Chick responds by saying everyone says he only won because Lightning was helping the king cross the finish line in the first movie. Honestly, that's not the dumbest premise for Chick wanting a rematch. I'm glad they acknowledge that he's not completely oblivious to everyone else's criticism, and he's not okay by simply winning on a technicality. But like, you're gonna challenge him on the simulator? I thought it was pretty well established in this world that the simulator was just for practice and real racing actually happens on the track. So why would this be any different? Why would this count as a win for Chick? It's just dumb. Even if I don't mind his motivation for challenging him, the way he's going about it is stupid. This is followed up by the only funny joke in the entire show though, so it's okay.
Okay, I'll sweeten the deal. If I win, every racer here gets a huge pile of cash. Of the appropriate age and wheelbase to claim huge pile of cash. Shop responsible for lost or stolen items. One huge pile of cash for winning customer. Offer not available in Orlando, Florida.
I'm a sucker for any sort of really fast terms of service joke. They're way overdone these days, but I laugh every time.
The most common side effect is nausea. Patients also reported trouble sleeping and vivid, unusual, or strange dreams.
So Lightning agrees to race Mr. Hicks, and then he ends up selecting somewhere called Chick Hicks Motor Speedway as the location to race. Lightning seems confused as to where this is and asks if it's even a real place. Chick Hicks responds by saying it is now, and I think this implies that Chick Hicks has the ability to bend time and space to will his creations into existence like some sort of god, so yeah. Do with that information what you will. The race begins, and of course Chick is cheating in all sorts of ways. After hacking the system to change Lightning's stats, Cruz activates something called Team Mode, which allows different members from Lightning's team to show up. The yellow and blue guy fixes tires when his tire pressure gets low, Flo tops off his oil, and Fillmore shows up high as hell to fill his tank up with gas and calm his racing nerves by offering him gas.
Organic fuel to the rescue, man. Thanks, Fillmore. You're saving the race.
Chick tries to throw Lightning off by reproducing asexually, then Cruz changes the track to dirt, which allows Lightning to catch up. Then they're neck and neck before Chick slams Lightning into a wall, in which Lightning is able to do the cool wall jump thing that both Doc and Cruz did in Cars 3 in order to speed ahead of Chick and win the race. Chick is visibly confused and pissed off, and then that one scary school bus appears to threaten him, and apparently he's somehow able to see her on screen because he reacts to her pushing him off like they're both actually there. I don't understand this ending, but whatever. Lightning tells everyone in the audience that they're now honorary members of his racing team and tells them to always drive safely and never get a DUI. The cylinder closes and guests walk back outside into the Florida heat. So that's Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, and oh wait, I forgot. Situated outside the attraction is a meet and greet with Cruz Ramirez, as well as a small dance party with DJ. You know DJ, that one weird looking purple car from the first movie. He actually used to be at Disney's California Adventure before they moved him over here in 2019. Okay, now that was Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, and overall, man, that sucked. I don't know what I was crying about. Sure, I'll always love the Cars franchise, but this was a pretty terrible representation of everything I enjoy about the movies. The whole simulator thing is just goofy and poorly thought out. The jokes are mostly unfunny. The plot is pretty boring, even if Chick's motivation is okay. And even though the large screen and animatronic are cool, that's about all the show has going for it. Like, other than that, what other effects or set pieces does it have? The smoke machines? That's about it. When we have something as incredible as Cars Land in California, California with all its thematic depth and great attractions, and meanwhile Florida has this, it's pretty easy to see a difference in quality. It's no wonder this show never got great reviews and was never really popular at Hollywood studios. It doesn't matter that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge or Toy Story Land or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway all opened at the same time as it. Even if they didn't, it still wouldn't have garnered that much attention because it just wasn't a good attraction to begin with. People didn't want to waste their time with it. Well, it won't be around much longer. As of October 7th, 2024, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy will no longer be training guests to look at a screen. Depending on when you're watching this, maybe it's already gone. If so, I hope you can treat this as a time capsule to see what we've lost and what's around the corner. Hopefully next time the Cars franchise finds itself in Walt Disney World, it'll be treated with more respect. Well, I talked about my feelings and I think I feel better, so I think I should call my nurse practitioner up and tell him about my progress.
Hello?
Hey, Doc.
Hey, they're adding cars to the Magic Kingdom's Frontierland.
Oh, that's great.
But they're doing it by replacing Tom Sawyer's Island.